221 The Den. I rush over to the manticore's den. The child with blood pouring out of their abdomen is there.
Gah!
With my partner's cry, her injuries are healed. The girl's complexion is still pale, but it looks like she'll live. We made it in time. Title skill Brave Hero has risen from level 1 to 2. Ah, it rose. This skill? It's okay to raise it, right? That hero had it, so I haven't exactly got the best impression of it. Either way, the kid's the priority just now. Seeing as the skill's level has increased, I think we must be out of the danger zone. She looks around 10 years old. She has pale white skin and there's something that looks like a line beneath her eyes. She's got long hair and is wearing an odd-looking black dress. It kinda looks like a folk dress. For the time being, I should check for any status conditions. Alurutaba. Species Lithovar. Condition unconscious minor. LV 12/60. HP 43/43. MEPE 13/13. Attack 39. Defense 35+5. Magic 33. Speed 32. Rank. Equipment. Body Lithovar dress F. Characteristic skills. Grisha language LV2 soft steps LV2. Resistance skills. Physical resistance LV1. Normal skills. Gale LV1. Title skills. Archer LV1 Hunter LV1. She's just unconscious, so she should be fine. It's only minor as well, so she'll wake up soon. That's a relief. With this difference in stats, it's a miracle she didn't die the moment she was bit. It might be because the manticore wanted to torment her though. The manticore had a twisted expression and ominous title skills, so that's probably the case. Though it's not nice to think about, it's thanks to that I was able to save the kid in time, so all's well that ends well. This species name. I recognize it from somewhere. There are hardly any people, it's just that. A dangerous race known as the Lithovar tribe, classified as a demon tribe, is said to live there. I don't know the full details, I hear they are few in number, so it isn't likely that you will encounter them in that great forest. This is the race Adolfo told me about, isn't it? He said I was unlikely to run into them, but I encountered them straight away. This is okay, right? When she wakes up she's not going to open a giant mouth and eat me whole, right? Her status isn't all that high, so I think it'll be alright. Or rather, I believe it'll be alright. Judging by her sleeping face, I can't see her as anything but a normal, sweet girl. She doesn't have a rank, her status completely looks like a normal human's. How's she supposed to be a demon? If I can help it, I don't want to fight her. I'm still recovering from my trauma in Harani and in the village. Why do you think I came to this crazy dangerous forest in the first place? I sense a presence behind me. That reminds me, there were 2 human presences earlier. A girl is staring at me from the stone building. She looks rather similar to the first girl, but is wearing a scarf around her head which drapes down to her arms. She has a round mask with a horn sticking out of it covering her face. Rather than a scarf, it looks more like a headgear that's been stitched onto the mask. In her hand she's holding another mask with cloth sewn around it. Perhaps it belongs to the girl who's collapsed here. She probably finds it difficult to approach me, so I'll take a step back. The girl rushes over and covers the collapsed girl's head with the cloth. Then she nervously looks up at me. Thank you very much, Dragon God-sama. She quickly bows her head. Then she picks up the collapsed girl and runs off somewhere. Being thanked like that makes me feel oddly happy. Perhaps I fell and hit my head on a rock earlier. But what's with that Dragon God-sama? Perhaps I look like some legendary dragon she knows. I don't think 2-headed dragons should be all that common though. While thinking that, I turn to face the stone building and notice the 2-headed dragon statues by the entrance. Oh yeah, there totally are other 2-headed dragons. Could it be that this is a shrine to the dragon god? Based on that encounter I just had, was it constructed by the Lithovar tribe? Could my era have finally arrived? Is my popular period here at last? Will the Lithovar tribe celebrate me with a cheer? What bastards calling them a tribe of demons? The manticore was chased away, or rather the shrine was reclaimed. The returning dragon god chased away the monster which was unjustly occupying the shrine, is what it looks like. I couldn't have asked for a better first impression. However, I do have the dragon scale powder skill. Well, there's that saying about not counting your chickens too early or something, so I need to calmly think this through. Calm down me. I shake my head, clearing away my delusions. GAA? My partner looks at me like I'm some strange creature. Arg, my bad, okay? For the time being, let's check out the shrine since I'll be using it as my home from now on. I enter the shrine head first. There's monster bones and traces of blood scattered around. It's a bit dirty, but it can't be helped. At least it's not like there's manticore droppings everywhere. That's all I can think about as I enter. I just wish I had something to eat. Raising my head, I spot a strange creature. It looks like a furry dumpling, one size larger than a human. It has a single leg which it waves up and down. Gay, that's a spider, isn't it? It's been turned upside down and most of its legs have been torn off. This manticore sure has horrid tastes. I don't have the best relationship with spiders after being chased around the forest by one, but this is just too cruel. At first I thought there were 3 dumplings, but it's actually a pair of cocoons attached to the spider. Are they eggs? I guess the spider wanted to leave some eggs behind. It must have protected the egg sacs by attaching them to its body. As always, this world is full of strange creatures. It would be much easier on it if it were a mammal. Is there any benefit to there no benefit to laying eggs at all? I get the feeling that the spider glanced at me. At the same time, it stops waving its leg. I thought it mustn't have noticed me after all, but then the spider started gently waving its leg. Unlike before, its movements don't look painful. I crush the spider beneath my claw. I'd feel bad if I left it like that. Letting it die properly is for the best. 40 experience points have been acquired. Due to the title skill Walking Egg, LV-, an additional 40 experience points have been acquired. The amount of experience points was really low, probably because it was on the verge of death. Even so, what should I do with this? Are spiders edible? The only bug that I've eaten so far has been the dark worm. Thanks to that, I'm okay with eating worms, but spiders are still unacceptable. I suppose I did eat centipede once. Ugh, that's an unpleasant memory. I never want to eat that again. Well, everything's an experience. If I'm not going to eat it, then I suppose I'll bury it somewhere. The default is to leave monster corpses where they are, but seeing as it looked so pitiable, I can't help but feel sympathy for it. I pry the egg sacs off the body. These would be a bit too much of a challenge to eat, seeing as there's the thread wrapping to get through. Spider thread is really not something I want to eat. It comes out of their butts after all. In terms of feelings, it's just impossible. I feel bad for the mother, but it would be troublesome if they were to hatch. I'll roast them then throw them away, huh? Where'd they go? Gaga. My partner has stuck the egg sacs to her forehead and is happily shaking her head back and forth. You? What are you doing? 222 bones. For the time being, I'll search each nook and cranny of the shrine for something to eat. On top of the legless spider, now crushed, and the egg sacs, currently my partner's hat, there's also a few rotting corpses covered in flies. And some human bones. The bones are quite small, so I think they were a child's. It looks like they died a long time ago. It's probably a lithovar child that the manticore captured. Maybe the manticore has a thing for capturing children. GA. I regret not being able to kill the manticore now. It was too fast at running away. I should have finished it off while it still had its guard down. At this moment, the manticore could be eating children or mothers with eggs without me knowing. That's a depressing thought. Gaga. Oblivious to my feelings, my partner giggles, playing with the egg sacs on her forehead. Well, I suppose there's no need for her to feel sad too. She's a monster after all. I am too, but well. She listens to what I ask her and heals humans with magic, but that's all. Hey, is that actually fun? Maybe it's a game where she's trying to roll it into her mouth to eat. Ga. Ga. The moment I think that, I understand that that isn't the case. Even with the mutual understanding skill, there's a lot I don't get about her. Though I do get occasional insights like this. When I raise my foreleg to take the egg sacs, my partner pulls her neck away and glares at me. Ga. She lets out a shrill cry. It sounds a bit like a threat. It seems I was mistaken. What is it? You want to keep them? Ga. My partner nods her head. We understood each other. Wait, that's not what's important here. What do you want to keep spiders for? Looking after an animal isn't a game you know? Do you have any idea what to do when they hatch? My partner turns her head away from me, refusing to hand them over. Damn, she's stubborn. I suppose I'll appraise the dead spider species. If it sounds dangerous, then I'm sorry, but I'll have to dispose of them via incineration. Arini, C-rank monter. A species of large furry spiders. Usual rather docile, but becomes fierce when it is carrying eggs. For a spider, it is particularly skilled with its thread. Docile, huh? Well, if it's only C-rank then I suppose it doesn't matter either way. I suppose we can look after them until she's satisfied. I can imagine them being a pain later, but I suppose I'll protect them until they're hatched. It kinda felt like the mother spider was entrusting them to me, so it'd leave me with a bad aftertaste if I were to kill them. For now, I'll bury the corpses and the bones. Wait. Maybe it would be better if I returned the bones? Somehow I feel like that would create a misunderstanding though. If it was me and a dragon approached with the bones of my friend, I'd get angry. I'll bury these bones outside the shrine then. Perhaps I can use a soul appendment fake life? If I remember correctly, it's meant to give a corpse false life, so it might be able to revive them. I can't say anything without trying it, but it should be a revival type skill. It's worth trying. It might even restore their body. Soul appendment fake life, soul appendment fake life. Nothing's coming out. Perhaps only my partner can use it? Let me have something, please. All my new skills seem to be going to my partner. It might be that all the skills I acquire as an Ouroboros my partner's? I'm going to cry. Hey partner, do you mind using soul appendment fake life? I'm not going to try and take the eggs away from you anymore. Gah. With my partner's cry, a black light envelopes one of the monster corpses. Normal skilled soul appendment fake life has risen from level 1 to 2. Wait up, that's not the right one. My bad for not specifying the target, but that's just wrong. The corpse swells with a squishing sound. Strange tentacle things start stretching out of it. Without thinking, I pummel the corpse, scattering it around. A black fluid squirts out. Due to the difference in rank being too large, experience points were not acquired. Phew, that was dangerous. I almost created some horrible monster. I totally forgot that I was an evil dragon. Of course a monster would be produced. That must be how it is. Soul appendment fake life isn't a nice revival type skill at all. It's just a monster mass production skill. GAA? My partner twists her neck strangely. No, she's definitely not someone I can let do as she pleases. But I suppose revival is impossible then. If the skill level were to rise. No, it's probably impossible. The false life it gives looks nothing like revival. Even if I were to max out the skill level, it would just perfect the monster it creates. Let's seal this skill. These bones, I'll bury them outside. No wait, maybe it's better to keep trying? No, if I keep failing then I'll just be playing around with a corpse. If it's not properly revived, I'll have to crush it again. There's no way that's allowed. I really don't think it's at all likely to succeed anyway. Although the skill level did rise. It's not like there was zero gain. If I choose to bury the bones but later find out that revival was possible, I'll definitely regret it. Hey partner. This time, please target those human bones. Gah. With my partner's cry, a black light envelopes the human bones. They float in the air and connect together. Then, with a clatter, they come alive. This guy's flesh didn't return. I doubt that their memories and reason from their past life have returned. What should I do? As expected, I've done something that shouldn't be allowed. Would it be better if I were to destroy it? But title skill Mean King has risen from level 7 to 8. I've gone and raised a nasty title skill. I feel overwhelmed by disgust and regret, like I've profaned. Wasn't I supposed to be able to control life and death? 223 white. The skeleton sits down against the shrine wall, holding its leg. It uses its jawbone to make a clattering sound, giving an impression of loneliness. Could it be that there is a human consciousness in there? I really shouldn't have done this. Gah. With my partner's cry, black light once again envelopes the bones. The separated leg and arm return to where they belong and connect. I see, without soul appendment fake life, it won't stick together. I wonder if I can't check this guy's status. Species, white. Status, cursed. LV, 1/5. HP, 7/7. Mepe, 2/2. Attack, 2. Magic, 3. Speed, 2. Rank, F. Characteristic skills. Grisha language, LV1 undead, LV-dark attribute, LV-. Resistance skills. Status condition nullification, LV-physical resistance, LV1 magic resistance, LV1. Normal skills. Gale, LV1 death curse, LV1 life drain, LV1. Title skills. Servant of the evil dragon. It's a white. As expected, this is no good. I'd guessed as much from its appearance, but this guy's completely stopped being a human. Status condition nullification, huh? It seems like if it were to evolve, it could be quite powerful. What's with a servant of the evil dragon? I don't want it. Should I break it? Would breaking it be for the best? At this rate I'm totally just playing with someone's remains. It looks like they might be in pain as well. It's got a curse even though it has a status condition nullification. Soul appendment fake life must be something like a curse. Let's take a look at what kind of monster a white is. Yeah, that's a good idea. It won't be too late to decide what to do with it afterwards. White F-rank monster. A corpse possessed by an evil spirit. It's not very strong, but there's the danger of it ambushing targets by pretending to be ordinary human bones. There are many cases of whites transferring to animal bones becoming a beast white. It's not even a human spirit. It's got an evil spirit, or rather my magic power inside it. Just like the description of soul appendment fake life said. With this I'm free to break it without worry. If I'd returned a human soul half-assly I might have gotten stuck in an impasse. I'm glad. For now there's that. I've learned that I shouldn't be using corpses. Sorry white, I'm going to destroy you now. As I raise my arm, the white kneels down and bows its head. It's got servant of the evil dragon, so it probably has no choice but to submit to me. It looks just like a monster that I've made. Actually, it doesn't just look like it, that's what it is. It can't hit back at me because of this shitty skill. I'll break it apart then bury it in the forest. I gently put my claw on the white's neck. Still, the white shows no sign of resistance. GAA? My partner peers at me from the side. Is it okay to kill it? She seems to ask. Stop it. You're making it hard to do. This thing's just a bundle of magic power. It's not even a living thing, let alone a human. Instead it has occupied the remains of a living thing's body, controlling it. The one controlling it is me though. No, that's precisely why I need to return it to its original owner with a clean finishing blow, The white clatters its jawbone. Is it laughing? No, it's shivering. Even despite its complete obedience, it has some will of its own. I gently remove my claw and observe the white. While still shivering, the white peers up at me wondrously and raises its head. That gesture somehow makes it look young and innocent. It was the fearful look a child would have when caught doing some mischief by their parent. Through the white, I could almost see the child who was the original owner of the bones. I can't destroy it. What should I do? First of all, I need to make sure that none of the Lithivar people see it. If they did, it would definitely end poorly. Go! I point my head to the depth of the shrine. The white stands up and staggers in that direction. What should I do? Raising a white is as different from raising spiderlings. There's no way a skeleton can grow up. Its growth phase is already long past. Its life is already over, so it's all wrong. Even if it were to grow up, it's not like I could return it to nature. I can't exactly let a skeleton monster roam free. It might try to forcefully increase its comrades. Yeah, this is still sacrilege to the dead person. But then it's not like it has their appearance from when they were alive. The first roommates are spiders and a skeleton. Seriously, what are we doing here? Is this a haunted house or something? 224 Tribute. It's morning. I wake up and stretch my neck. After my partner ate the decaying monster corpses, I lost my appetite and fell asleep. As expected, having a roof over my head is the best. I was always exposed to the elements in the desert after all. Because I vaguely remembered the comforts of my previous life, I couldn't settle down there at all. It had been ages since I'd last had a good night's sleep. GA. Well, when one of us wakes up, the other is forced to wake too. I hear a clattering sound coming from deeper inside the shrine. The skeleton, or rather white, must have noticed I woke up. Looming in the darkness, a skeleton missing a leg appears. As expected, seeing it first thing in the morning is spooky. If I think about it too much, I'll get nightmares. It looks like its leg fell off again. Guo. Hey partner, stick it back together.
Gah.
She gives a sleepy, half-hearted answer. Even though her eyes are half open, she's sleep-talking. I open my mouth and aim at the egg sacs stuck to her forehead. Her eyes snap open and she pulls her head back.
Gah. Gah.
She cries out reproachfully. It's not like I was going to eat them, you know. I'm not you. I could just imagine a swarm strange bugs swelling out of your mouth. As my partner uses soul appendment fake life, the white's leg is repaired. I wonder if there's anything I can do to stop it from breaking so easily. I have plenty of MP though, so it's not particularly important. If its level raises, maybe it'll stay together better. Its level limit is low, so I don't think it'll take much for it to evolve. But one mistake would be enough to kill it. What would happen if the white were to die? I look at the white. It makes a sound and tilts its head. Well, I'll try to stop worrying about it too much. There's no easy way to confirm after all. I step out of the shrine. Searching around with the present sense, I feel something approaching. I immediately raise my head and sharpen my senses. It's a group of mask-wearing humans. They're lithivars. There's 5 well-built men and 2 short girls. Both of the girls have feather decorations in their hair, colorful cloth warped around their bodies, and canes in their hands. Are they lithivar mages? No, are they shrine maidens? The men are carrying animals on their backs. A fat pig, a long-necked bird, a basket of fish, a giant pot. The giant pot was being carried between 2 of the men. The men lined up opposite from me. I return to the shrine to watch. Is it okay if I accept it? It's okay, right? That's the impression I get, but it's okay, right? As I hide in the shrine, the 2 girls come out in front of the lined-up food. As I thought, they're shrine maidens, right? God of the Lithivar, Dragon God Sama. As the representative of our tribe, I would like to offer our prayers and gratefulness to the Dragon God Sama's second coming. I pray that you would please watch over us forevermore and bless us with prosperity. Sorry, you've completely got the wrong dragon. I've never been here before. Far from blessings, all I can scatter around is curses. Living here forever would be a bit. I have no such plans at the moment, I mean. The 2 shrine maidens then continue chanting a long prayer. Should I perhaps come out? But there's the matter of timing. I should maybe wait for a gap in their prayers? GAA? My partner tries to push her head past me out of the shrine. I quickly pull my body back, withdrawing into the depths of the shrine. Calm down me. This is a good opportunity to get used to interacting with humans from a safe distance. I can't waste it. Okay, from today onward I am the Lithivar's dragon god. I'm no longer an Ouroboros. I hit my head with my forefoot to get myself pumped up. I don't know what to do about my timing, but I'll just rely on the other side to respond skillfully. It'll be what it'll be. At the start, the dragon god got too worried about the timing and didn't come out. If something like that was preached, I wouldn't know what to do. In this case, if I come out nervously, it's my loss. I should make sure to come across as firm and dignified. I shake my head to banish my hesitation. My partner looks at me questioningly. You should be firm too, okay? Our tribe's honor, power, everything is thanks to the Dragon God Sama. Whoa! In front of the lined-up shrine maidens, I suddenly appear. The 2 shrine maidens break off their prayer and stare up at me in mute amazement. The men lined up at the back had the same expressions. I softly step back and sink back into the shrine. Then I bury my head against the floor. I completely made a mistake in my timing. This is so embarrassing. I guess I should have waited until they were finished before coming out. Yeah, if you think about it normally, that's the way it'd be. I somehow had gotten the feeling that the chanting wouldn't have ended until I came out. It might have been a mistake to show off by roaring. The white anxiously watches over me as I tremble on the floor. After about 10 minutes, I poke my head out of the shrine. The tributes are still there, lined up, but there's no sign of the Lithivars. With this, I'm not sure whether or not they've figured out that I'm not their dragon god, but they left behind the tribute, so they seem to be still treating me like a god for the time being. I wonder what the Lithivar people think of their god who suddenly appeared in the middle of their prayers with a howl and then retreated as if to run away. I just wish one of them had stayed behind. Coming out took all of my willpower, so this is 225, the Abyss called one. For the time being, I'll take a wander around this forest. The manticore didn't die last night, which is worrying, and I'd like to see if this forest has any easy-to-hunt monsters. Food's not really a problem for now, since I have the tribute. Although I'm not sure whether it's really okay for me to eat it. It would be nice if I could make dried meat again here. I'd like to take a look at the Lithivar settlement, but going now would be a little bad. The next time they come, I need to appear more dignified. Come to think of it, it might be best if I've eaten the tribute before they come next. I wouldn't want them to get worried thinking it wasn't to his taste or he got angry. In the future, I won't be treated as a tribute thief, right? There's no way that would happen, right? After I've eaten it, I would hate to be told that's for a different dragon, so give it back. I suppose today I'll only hunt for edible monsters if I see plenty of them around. I want to maintain the stability of my hunting grounds after all. Having decided my policy, I move to leave the shrine. Hearing a clattering sound from behind me, I turn to see the white following me. No, it would be dangerous to bring it along, but then leaving it behind would also be dangerous. I want to level it up to prevent it falling apart sooner rather than later, so I guess I'll take it along. We'll be fine if we retreat as soon as I see a dangerous monster. If needed, I can throw the white into my mouth and flee with rolling. Yeah, we probably won't meet any monsters too powerful for that to work. I start walking while maintaining present sense. When hunting, having the initiative is essential. Before attacking or running away, seeing your opponent before being seen is more important. Silencing the sounds of my footsteps, I slowly walk through the forest. Initiative, initiative. The white's with me, so I need to steel myself. White, follow close to me, okay? The white suddenly tackles my body. Its head rolls off its shoulders and falls to the ground. Oh, what are you doing? The white pays no mind to its collapsing body and continues to tackle me. Its body continuously becomes more and more scattered. What's wrong? Is it confused? Partner, use soul appendment fake life.
Gah. Gah.
Her complexion suddenly changes and she starts howling. Something has got her extremely agitated, she's no longer in a state to respond to my thoughts. Shit, a status abnormality? I don't feel any monster presences, so it might be the work of a plant or something. I'm unaffected for now, but I have no way of knowing when the confusion effect will hit me. At once, I turn around while taking care not to be separated from the white. I see a red ant-sized bug latched onto my tail. It has an unpleasant-looking black-based striped pattern on its body. Its 8 legs are oddly long and bent in a way which emphasizes the joints. Its mouth is lined with serrated teeth. Although they don't look like teeth. There's too many. Its outward appearance is similar to a whip spider. It's sucking blood out of my tail, so its nature is probably rather different. Well, if I were to convey its impression with a single word, it's that. Gross. Go. Guaya. I howl in sync with my partner and slam my tail against a tree. Blue blood dribbles out of the pseudo-whip spider's mouth. It's probably mine. Just the idea of being bitten by that thing is enough to make me shudder. Or rather, I feel like I'm about to throw up. It's seriously gross. I'll have to clean my tail later. Hey, can we leave this forest already? Why wasn't I able to detect such a powerful monster?
Go!
I wave my arm wildly and release a wind slash. The blade of wind mows gouges into the tree, mowing it down. The pseudo-whip spider loosely bends one of its legs to neatly block my attack, then starts skittering away. Its movements seriously gross me out. If you're going to run away, then don't attack in the first place, seriously.
Gah. Gah. Gah.
With my partner's howl, the pseudo-whip spider's rear is enveloped in a black light. She seems to be trying to use death, but can't quite land the hit. There might not be a need to hurry so much, but both of us are worked up. There's also that I really don't want to look it in the eye. Chasing it away would be fine, but I feel like I'll never be able to have peace of mind unless I kill it. So when I lost sight of it, I was struck by an eerie feeling. Ha ha ha. It's run off somewhere. I should have checked its status. Without knowing the source of these unnatural feelings of disgust or whatever, I can only react with fear. My feelings could be eased a bit if I just knew its identity. Shit, my tail's going numb. The pain is fading. It masked its presence while sneaking up on me, then sucked my blood while numbing the pain. In its approach makes it look rather like a mosquito which targets large monsters. No, mosquitoes are much nicer. Visually too. More than a mosquito, my impression of it was more like a cockroach. Well, I'm safe for now. Thanks, White. You broke your body in those tackles in order to alert me. You saved me. I look down at the scattered white's body. Its skull shakes left and right. What is it? Is something wrong? No, was that the wind? The white's arm bones bend, causing its finger to point behind me. I turn my head to look that way. The pseudo-whip spider is crawling towards me at a terrifying speed. No, to be accurate, it's not moving towards me all that fast. Its long legs are swinging around fast, creating the illusion that its body is moving faster than it is. For some reason, the lack of noise only amplified the illusion. Suddenly I remembered a scene from my previous life. A cockroach I thought I'd chased away suddenly jumped out at my face. Even though I can't remember the room's layout at all, I can distinctly remember the appearance of the cockroach flying towards me.
Ga. Ga. Gaia. Go. Go. Go.
My partner and I release volleys of death and wind slash respectively. A death landed, but it crawled out of the black light. It's no good, it didn't have an effect. With death, the size level difference really does make a big difference, it seems. But it's not like I can't learn from my failures. If targeting it directly is no good, then I just need to target something else from the start. I gouge a tree in its path with wind slash, which falls and crushes the pseudo-whip spider beneath it. With a cracking sound, its back splits open and cream-colored body fluids leak out. Its 8 long legs squirm madly in the air. With this, I no longer have to worry about missing. Aiming at its head, I release a large wind slash. Its head is cleaved open vertically and its movements stop. 186 experience points have been acquired. Due to the title skill Walking Egg, LV-, an additional 186 experience points have been acquired. The level of Ouroboros has risen from 60 to 61. Presence erasing, blood-sucking and numbing skills. What an unpleasant monster. I'm a tiny bit reluctant to eat it. Let's just do the appraisal. Abyss C-rank monster. It sticks to the blind spots of large magic beasts, sucking their blood while simultaneously injecting its body fluids. The Abyss body fluids are poisonous, and it lays its eggs in the corpses of its prey, transforming them into a nest for its young. During its normal hunts, Abyss typically for monsters smaller than itself. It is capable of eating nearly anything. It's even worse than I'd thought. It's a good thing I won. If I'd lost, I'd have become a nest for baby abysses. I'm seriously feeling worse and worse. The numbness in my tail is probably the effect of its body fluids. I wonder if I can regenerate my tail if I were to chop it off. 226 Little Trant.
Gaga.
After reviving the white with the use of soul appendment fake life, my partner starts to show interest in the remains of the abyss. I try to get her to stop, but it seems she really wants to try and eat it. She must be really hungry. I attempt to leave, but she resists, making it difficult to walk the way I want to, so I end up approaching it. Fearfully, my partner brings her head close to the abyss corpse and sniffs it. Scrunching her eyes closed, she sticks out her tongue and gently draws her mouth closer to the abyss. Then, just before her tongue touches it, her eyes open. Her eyes and the dead abyss eyes meet.
Ga.
Her tongue's movement stops. Letting out a lonely cry, she pulls her head back. As expected, no matter how hungry you are, this isn't something to eat. That makes sense. If she sank her teeth into it, I didn't know what I would do. Trembling, my partner looks at me, looking like she is about to cry. I know you're really hungry, but we'll be able to eat something much nicer in just a bit. The tribute's still waiting for us at the shrine. I leave the abyss remains and continue exploring the forest. There's no way that all the tribute's meat is going to be as gross as that thing. It would be great if there was an E or F ranked monster to raise the white's level. That way should be able to cure its habit of falling apart all the time. I glance back at the white behind me. It looks up at me with its 2 empty eye sockets. I wonder if it's able to eat anything? Nah, it shouldn't be able to. It's clearly got no digestive organs. It's all bone after all. While searching, I come across a mole-like monster and an owl-like monster, but both run away too fast. The mole dives underground as soon as it senses me, and the owl uses a skill or something to hide its presence. My impression is that, because of how dangerous the monsters in this area are, they are split between parasites like the abyss, and those that are fast at running away. Come to think of it, even though most of the manticore's stats weren't too high, its speed was something else. Does it need its speed to run away from something? If something much stronger than the manticore is lurking around, it might be a hassle. However, at this rate, it's looking unlikely I'll find a monster I can safely make the white fight. If it was just hunting for food, I'd be able to manage somehow, but capturing a monster without killing it and making the white fight it would be. Yeah. I stop and look back at the white. Copying me, the white also stops. This forest might be a bit too high level for the white. If only there was some quick and easy way to raise the white's level. Looking at the white, an idea suddenly strikes me. There is a way. I just need to create a monster the same level of the white using a soul appendment fake life. Although, controlling life and death with a soul appendment fake life is. But then even if it moves, a lump of meat is obviously not alive, so I think it should be okay. If I transform it into a monster that looks nothing like a living organism, it won't be like I've blasphemed life. So it's safe, yeah. This way I can have the white fight a monster around the same level as it right away, and if it looks like it's struggling I can just step in. Wow, this really solves everything. I just need to find something that looks easy to fight. Something that won't be strong even after transforming into a monster. Peering around, I spot a small tree that can't be more than a few years old. It's the pleasant color of new growth, not yet having thick bark or many leaves. It looks suitable. I rush over to the sapling and look down at the white, indicating the sapling with my jaw. Do you think you can fight this? I try to ask the white. Understanding my intention, it nods its head. Guo, I cry, facing my partner.
Ga.
She hungrily gnashes her teeth. After this, I'll start hunting for Rayal. You can even eat the next meal. The poor white will keep falling apart at this rate, which is a bother for you too, right?
Ga.
My thoughts must have gotten through, because my partner turns to face the sapling and uses a soul appendment fake life. A black light envelopes the sapling. Normal skilled soul appendment fake life has risen from level 2 to 3. As the black light clears away, I see a face-like cavity on the sapling. It uproots itself, scattering earth around.
Yi, hige.
The sapling's mouth tears open, letting out a war cry. Species, Little Trant. Condition, Cursed. LV, 1/5. HP, 7/7.
Mepe, chasse.
Attack, 1. Defense, 2.
Magic, 3.
Speed, 1. Rank, F. Characteristic skills. Dark attribute, LV-. Resistance skills. Physical resistance, LV-1. Normal skills. Take root, LV-1. Clay, LV-1. Title skills. Servant of the Evil Dragon, LV-. It's a success. Wow, I really can just make as many followers as I want. Its attack and speed are low, but its HP and magic are high. It looks like it would work well as a support type. Now that I look at it, I can't help but become attached to it. I really want to know how it will develop as it gets stronger. Plus, it has that title skill, so it shouldn't be hostile to me. It might be best to change our plans.
Gao.
By the time I call out to the white, it had already begun to move. As the white draws near, the Trant swings at it with the downward slash of a branch, but the white dodges around behind it. Without pause, the white embraces the Trant. From the white's body, a black mist leaks out. The Trant writhes, trying to shake off the white. But the white clings on. Piece by piece, bones fall to the ground.
Gi. Hijai.
Gradually, the Trant's movements slow, its body surface growing darker. Finally, it stops moving completely. As the Trant stills, the white stops releasing its black mist. It seems it was an HP stealing skill. The withered Trant looks like it has been starved of water for a long time. Its leaves have changed color completely. And, as a gust of wind blows, its limbs fall to the ground. Trapped in indecision, I had only watched over the fight in a daze. When I finally come to my senses, the white is happily approaching me, dragging its missing body parts. Why yeah and no, this is where I should honestly praise its hard work. I just need a second to sort out my feelings. 227, White leveling. Watching the remains of the little Trant crumble away out of the corner of my eye, I check the white status. Species, White. Status, Cursed. LV, 2/5. HP, 4/8.
Mepe, otreime.
Its level didn't increase as much as I expected. The ball rabbit's level increased fast because I was power leveling it, and in my own case I had an experience doubling skill. Well, it is what it is. Sorry, little Trant, it looks like we won't be able to make good use of your sacrifice. It might be better to power level the white too. But it doesn't look like there are any monsters that are weak enough around here. For now I'll get my partner to restore its body with the soul appendment fake life. I wonder if that'll be enough to regain its HP. Restoration magic wouldn't damage it, right? After my partner uses soul appendment fake life, I check the white's status and see that its HP was restored safely. Relieved, I release the breath I've been holding. It might be best to avoid using recovery magic on it. I have no idea how it affects undead after all. But how should we go about leveling it up? While I'm fretting over the issue, the white starts poking my front leg, pointing at another small tree. And no, that would be a bit. How to put this, I've got some hang-ups about continuing. The white hangs its head forlornly. This child really does want to raise its level. As it is now, it'll fall apart again soon, and as soon as I take my eyes off it, it might get eaten by an abyss.
Gaga.
What's up, partner? Suddenly, I feel a voice in my head calling out a water, want to drink, eh? Just now that was... Characteristic skill mutual understanding has risen from level 1 to 2. As I thought it was my partner. At this rate, my partner might be able to continuously talk inside my head soon. That could be a little unpleasant. My partner sticks out her tongue and starts panting forcibly, repeatedly glancing at me. You don't have to appeal that much, I know what you're trying to say. I release a cry and start walking, the white following me. When we arrive at the river, my partner sticks her head into the water and splashes around while drinking. I'm also feeling a bit thirsty, so I thrust my head underwater and drink as well. Having drunk plenty of water, I raise my head. Despite the drips of water falling from my mane, I can see my reflection in the water's surface. I open my mouth slightly, checking my wicked-looking teeth. I've completely gotten used to being a dragon. But then it's not like my appearance was this ferocious from the start. While thinking such things, I glance to my side to see the white crouching by the river bank, peering at the water's surface. It's not like it's panicking over its appearance or anything, but I think it looks a little sad. When it is frightened, it trembles, and when it wants my attention, it pokes me. I am sure it doesn't have memories from its past life, but its mannerisms are unmistakably that of a human child. There's no way I can think of it as being nothing more than a monster produced by a soul appendment fake life. Go! As I call out, the white looks back at me and stands up. Perhaps it might instinctively understand that leveling up might allow it to regain its flesh. If so, that would explain why it wants to level up so badly. Perhaps it's holding on to a faint hope that, after eating a lot of human flesh, a zombie can regain its humanity. Because I experienced such hardships chasing after the humanization technique, I understand its feeling well. I've had it better as a dragon, but as a white it's just bone. Just a skeleton. Having made my resolution, I indicate a nearby tree with my head. Partner, please use a soul appendment fake life on that. I'd like to allow the white evolve by the end of today.
GAA?
Sure, she asks. Yes, of course. As she uses a soul appendment fake life, just like before, its bark changes and a face appears. It's transformed into a little trant.
Hijai.
The little trant uproots itself and starts moving. The white looks up at me happily.
Ga.
With my cry, it circles behind the little trant and grapples it. The little trant struggles, snapping some of the white's bones. The white catches a fractured bone before it hits the ground, using it to stab into the little trant's back.
Hijai.
It bit, squeezed, and stabbed with its broken bones. It's a much messier fight than last time. It's low on MP, so it might not be able to use its skill. But the white is winning regardless. It's got 1 level on the little trant. Simply comparing their stats, the whites are higher on average. Covered in gashes, the little trant collapses, the white falling to the ground with it. Dragging its chipped and broken body, the white crawls towards me. I gently pat its head with my foreleg. Then, to the wound-covered little trant, I close my eyes and bow my head a little. It's still not enough. For the white to evolve, around 5 more little trants will be needed. 228, White's evolution. The white's level has increased slower than I'd expected. In my case, I leveled so fast through the support of my title skill. I didn't expect it to be this difficult to just raise its level by 3 without it. After the white defeated its 6th little trant, its level finally rose to 4. With its increase in stats, I've become able to comfortably send it out to fight them. Since then, it's defeated 3 more, but its level still hasn't maxed out yet. The next one should be enough though. Together with the white, I search for another young tree, then ask my partner to transform it. Normal skilled soul appendment fake life has risen from level 3 to 4. This has been used a lot too, so it's been sucking up XP. By the way, I tried using a soul appendment fake life on the remains of a little treant that had lost all its HP, but it wasn't revived. It's not like it can't work on corpses, seeing as the white's made entirely of bone. Maybe there's some rule about the quality of the materials. It's not like there was no response at all, so I get the feeling that it might work at higher levels.
Higi.
The uprooted little treant leaps at the white. With a relaxed movement, the white dodges and grapples its back, snapping its limbs and gnawing at its body.
Higi.
The little treant stops moving and collapses on the spot. With this, the white's level should have gone up. It would be great if it could evolve into a more human-like form. Species, white. Status, cursed.
LV 5/5.
HP, 14/14.
Mepe, Oshesime.
Alright, it's leveled up. It should be able to evolve now.
Go.
With my cry, the white looks up at me. Making a clacking sound, it nods at me. I anticipate its evolution, but its form doesn't seem to change. It just stares at me with its empty eye sockets. Maybe there's something I need to do? The only thing I can do for undead is to use soul appendment fake life. Hey partner, could you give it one more shot? With as much magic power as you can.
Gua.
With my partner's cry, a black light envelopes the white. When the light clears away, the white is visible. Some of its bones have become blue, and it's got a cross-shaped mark on its forehead. It's also got some patterns around its eyes and on some of its ribs. Other than that, it's not really changed much. Rather than becoming more human-like, I get the feeling that it's becoming more monster-like. As expected, it looks like it's impossible for it to regain its living body. Anyway, I'd like to see what it's evolved into. I'll check out its status. Race, skull lomage. Status, cursed. LV, 1/13. HP, 15/15.
Mepe, Ozechime.
Attack, 5. Defense, 4. Magic, 6. Speed, 3.
Rank, E.
Characteristic skills. Grisha language, LV1 undead, LV-dark attribute, LV-. Resistance skills. Status condition nullification, LV- physical resistance, LV3 magic resistance, LV1. Normal skills. Gale, LV2 death curse, LV2 life drain, LV1 clay, LV1. Title skills. Servant of the evil dragon, LV-. Skull lomage. In short, a low-ranking bone magic user? So next would be a skull mage? This, is it even able to gain flesh? Won't it be spending its whole life as bone? I mean, even though it's dead. It should be able to choose its evolution path like me though. Well, its MP has increased, so the number of times it can attack from a safe distance has gone up. If the white it's evolved so its name has changed. If the skull lomage provides covering fire while I fight up front, it shouldn't be too difficult to power level it. The experience points might be reduced because there's less risk, but it's got to be more efficient than slowly grinding through monsters of the same rank. That was how the ball rabbit suddenly rose to D rank. Plus, I don't want to use soul appendment fake life like that if I can help it. Making living things for the purpose of killing them is not a pleasant experience. Wondering what to do if it'll always be stuck as bone, I watch the skull lomage's face. After examining its body thoughtfully, it stands up while staring at its hand. It's not pleased about this development, is it? That's as I expected. I wish it could tell me how much it remembers, but it hasn't got a tongue. It's all bone after all. Come to think of it, its name from when it was alive isn't displayed. Changing the way I call it every time it evolves feels weird, so ought to think of a good name for it. But then I have no idea if it's male or female. Is it a he skeleton or a she skeleton? Male and female skeletons differ, but it's a child so. It might have its habits from when it was a human, but that's no guarantee it remembers its name. I get the feeling that if it knew, it would be displayed in its status. Until its name is decided, I guess I'll keep calling it white. Though it's not like I'll be saying it out loud. For the rest of today, I'll let the white rest and regain MP. We'll probably go hunting again tomorrow. For dinner, let's eat the tribute. I'm also wondering if the Lithivar people will come again. 229 Breakfast. I open my eyes to the sun's glare and crawl out of the shrine. It's already morning. I went to sleep at the back of the shrine where light wouldn't reach, but it seems I rolled towards the entrance,
Go.
Raising my head to the sky, I let out a yawn. It wakes my partner up, who opens her eyes. As usual, the egg sacs are stuck to her forehead. To be honest, I'd prefer it if they were to remain unhatched. Hey partner, you know spiders are nothing like ball rabbits? They won't fulfill your nostalgia.
Go.
Even though she should have gotten plenty of sleep, she's still drowsy.
Ga. Ga. Ga.
Without hesitation, she stretches out towards the tribute. She ate a ton last night, but it's still not enough for her. There should have been enough food to cover a fair few meals if rationed, but she destroyed half of it last night. The remaining half will disappear with this breakfast. She does her work properly, so I can't complain, but I wish she would pull her weight a bit more. I would be grateful if the Lithivars were to bring some more tributes, but I don't see them around and don't feel their presence. I wonder if it's because my behavior yesterday scared them and they figured out I'm not their dragon god. There's the possibility that they have a set day on which they come, so there's still a chance. I hope. While I'm thinking, my partner has stuffed her face into a basket, scrounging around for remaining food. The poultry and pork have become nothing but bones. Is she finished eating then? The food she eats fills my stomach, so to humor her, it's better to let her do the eating, but my mouth feels rather empty.
Hufo.
Next to my partner snorting in satisfaction, I gnaw on a boar bone she spat out. This is fine though. Yeah. After enjoying it half-heartedly, I spit out the bone fragments. My partner looks at me pityingly. If you'd said something, I'd have given you some. Her voice is in my head. I feel like we're becoming more and more able to understand each other. Next to the wreckage of my partner's feasting, I spot a large pot. It doesn't look like she's tried it yet. I try sniffing it, but it doesn't smell of food. If it smelled of meat, there's no way she would have left it alone after all. I lightly poke it with my forefoot and hear a sloshing sound. Is it a drink? I try removing the lid with my mouth to see a colorless, clear liquid. But this odor I'm smelling. Is it alcohol? It's sake, actually. If I remember correctly, Yamada no Orochi was killed after getting drunk on sake. It was a snake, but it feels ominous all the same. As I'm looking down into the pot, my partner softly edges closer before clasping the pot between her lips and raising it to the sky. Its contents flows down her throat in one gulp. She twists her head, smashing the pot against the ground, shattering it. Then she sticks out her tongue, licking up the sake from around her mouth.
Ga.
She cries out joyfully, letting saliva fly.
Oi, this girl.
Right after she said she'd share as well. Or rather, don't go destroying the pot.
What a waste.
Be more careful next time. If a Lithivar were to see, they might mistake it as anger. That's right, restoring the jar using a soul appendment fake life would not work, I'd expect.
Yeah, that would be the case.
It's much more likely that the fragments will just start moaning.
Ga.
My partner gleefully starts licking the fragments of the jar. She seems to have taken a liking to sake. You're also me, so don't do such crude things, please. Didn't some of the shards enter her mouth just there? Hey, spit them out already. Won't they break your stomach? Come to think of it, I swallowed that holy sword a while back. There's no way this is worse than that, so it's fine. Whatever happened to that sword anyway? Is it still there, or has I digested it? It'll be sticky and unusable either way though. Seeing as the tribute's all gone, from today onward I'll have to be self-sufficient. I need to go hunting for prey. I'll let the white earn experience points by providing covering fire. For that matter, where's the white? It's no longer in the shrine. Searching around with the presence detection, I feel a faint reaction from the opposite side of the shrine. This presence has to be the white. I circle around the shrine, following the white's presence. As I'd sensed, the white was there. It's elbow deep in earth, digging through the soil. It pulls out a clump of dirt. No, that's too structured to be just dirt. It's a dirt-covered cloth. The white brushes the cloth with its hand, revealing a black color with ivy embroidery. It's Lithivar clothing. I wonder if it's what the white wore when it was alive. After clearing away most of the dirt, it rings out with its lower jawbone in satisfaction. It bends down to put on the clothes, but suddenly jumps with a start, turning to look at me. Our eyes meet. The white looks away and hides its face in embarrassment. Feeling like I'd seen something I shouldn't have, I quickly avert my eyes. It's essentially been naked all this time. After so long without clothes, isn't it a bit late to worry about being seen changing? No, its feelings aren't ones I can understand. After the sound of getting dressed has stopped, I look up to see the white fully clothed. It's dirty and torn, but the top and bottom combine to make it a black dress. It looks just like what the Lithovar girl I saved from the Manticore was wearing. The men who came to deliver the tribute were wearing trousers, so it seems the white is a girl after all. Although there is the possibility that she's just wearing clothes she found. Letting out a rattling sound, the white turns around on the spot while looking up at me. I get the impression that it wants me to say something. Seeing me stay silent, she tilts her head. Perhaps she's asking for my impression of her clothes. And no, to put it bluntly, she's just boned, so. There's no feelings of cuteness there, yeah?
There's that.
It might be a good idea to wash away the dirt in the river. Beyond that, no comment. 230 Exploration. I've decided that I'll go explore the forest with the white. For the time being, the objectives are finding food, evolving the white, my own leveling, and, if time allows, making contact with the Lithovar people. I hope we're able to find something tasty. There was rice and boar in the tribute, so if we look around, we should be able to find them. As for evolving the white, the objective is for her to gain flesh. That'll work, right? It would be beyond pitiable if she were to be stuck as bone forever. And for my own evolution? I rush ya. Species Ouroboros. Condition normal. LV 61/125. HP 1555/1555. Mepe o 1505 o 1505. Nice, my HP has a run of 5s. That's meant to be lucky, I think. Not that I care all that much. My level still hasn't reached the turning point. The amount of experience needed will be even more from here on, so my next evolution is still a long way off. When I evolve, what's going to happen to my partner? Are you going to disappear? GAA? When I look at her, she lets out an idiotic cry. She's not one to think about things like evolution, this girl. For time being, it's probably for the best that she's not worrying about it, but I'm curious all the same. If we were to go from 2 to 1, would she return to being inside me? Would it be like killing her? Or it could be that I'll keep having 2 heads in all my future evolutions. There's also the possibility that I'll sprout a 3rd head. Even with only 1 other head, it's hard enough to set goals and keep my mood high, so with a 3rd head I'd just die from stress. Suddenly, I stop to think. The Lithovar settlement should be close. If I were to go visit them from here, they'd get scared, right? But then they didn't come to visit me this morning. So if I don't do something, won't I just fade into obscurity? But if I mess up and they see me as being aggressive, I'll become unable to meet them at all. But. While I'm fretting by myself, my partner stares at me with cold eyes.
Gah.
She shakes her head in exasperation and looks ahead. Hurry up and walk, she says in my mind, indicating the way forwards with her jaw. Somehow I feel like I've lost. Was I really making that much of an absent-minded expression just now? Anyway, the white's with us today, so making contact with the Lithovar tribe might be a little bad. It would be difficult for her to meet her friends as she currently looks. I'll focus on hunting for today. That's for the best, yeah.
Gah. Gah.
When I start walking, my partner again pulls me in a direction with her head. Drool is flying from her mouth.
What is it?
Did you see something? You could have told me telepathically like you did a moment ago, you know. The skill level has increased after all. That looks tasty. That looks tasty. Whether it's her thought or her cry, it doesn't make much difference. The ball rabbit was able to use telepathy a lot more useful things though. I follow her line of sight to see something pulsing with light. It's humanoid but quite small. Around the size of a small animal. Not wearing any clothes, its smooth, featureless skin is visible. It looks kind of like a clay doll made in the shape of a human. It seems to have spotted us from its hiding spot behind a tree root. That's not something you'd want to eat, right? I for sure don't want to.
What even is that thing?
Raran, Irank monster. From its peculiar appearance, it has been called names such as Guardian of the Forest, Forest Child, Spirit of the Forest. Each name carries the superstitions of that area with it. Possessing a docile personality, it lives by absorbing the magic power of trees. If it gets angry, something terrible will happen. Touching this guy's definitely off limits. It looks tasty. It looks tasty. Stop that, we're not gonna eat it. No, with this much of a difference in rank it should be okay. Even though it's the perfect rank for raising the white's level, I don't want to get involved with it. Sorry, but we're searching for a different prey. It's not like eating that would fill your stomach anyway.
Gah. Gah.
How much do you want to eat that thing, seriously? I really don't get what's so appealing about it. I don't know much about this Raren thing, but won't it go away after seeing her rampage like this? I glance back and see that the single Raren has become 3. The 3 little humanoids are peacefully lined up, emitting a pale green light. Do they want to be eaten, those guys? Their eyes meet mine, and the 3 of them shrug their shoulders in unison. Then, the light flashes and they disappear.
Ga.
My partner hangs her head dejectedly. You really wanted to eat it that badly? Sorry, but I'm not gonna make something that creepy my enemy. To get me to lower my guard, just one of those guys, no, just one of those things came by itself. While searching for some other monster to hunt, I hear a rustling sound and spot an abyss in the distance. I don't want to go near one of those if I can help it. Even if I defeat it, I can't eat it. But then exterminating it might be a good idea. It's C rank, so if the white were to help, she'd earn a ton of experience. Even so, I don't want to fight it. While I'm worrying, presence detection picks up on something on the opposite side. This presence feels human. I think it's Lithivar. I'm a little bit curious. I want to check in on them though. No, I'll just stumble across them. After all, if I'm close by I shouldn't go out of my way to avoid them. Yeah, I'll just go show my face. Only for a bit, only for a bit. I need to thank them for the tribute after all, yeah. I can't run away here. However, there's the problem of the white. Letting her and the Lithivars meet would be bad. I glance behind me to see the white looking up at me, appearing lonely. You? Just seeing them from a distance should be okay, right? I'll just greet them, then if they come closer and it looks like they'll see the white, we'll sneak away.